I faked being asleep every morning, but the night I came home early changed everything. I always pretend to be asleep when my fiancé gets up for work. His alarm goes off at 5:15 every morning without fail. He hits snooze once, then sits on the edge of the bed for about 30 seconds like he's listening to the room. I used to think he was waking up slow, but now I know he's checking on me, making sure I'm still asleep before he moves. Then I hear the bathroom faucet, the soft brush of his teeth, his belt, the zipper on his work bag, and the light click off. After that, the apartment goes quiet, and I wait, because what comes next is why I keep my eyes shut. He comes back into the bedroom in socks, never shoes, so he won't tap on the hardwood. He steps so carefully, I barely hear him. He leans down close, and I feel that little shift of air near my face. Then he kisses my temple and whispers the same thing every single morning. "Drive safe today, love. You make everything worth it." Same words, same order for 2 years. Then he tiptoes out, and right before the door clicks, he does this tiny breath laugh, like he can't believe he gets to do it. I can even tell when he grabs his keys, because the key ring bumps the dresser. Here's the part I never told him. I'm a light sleeper. That alarm wakes me on the first buzz, every time, and I've never been truly asleep for his little ritual. Not once. The first morning, I stayed quiet because I thought it was a one-time sweet thing. The next few mornings, I stayed quiet because I didn't want to embarrass him. After a week, I knew if I admitted I was awake, he'd get shy and stop, or start overthinking it, and the whole thing would change. I kept telling myself I'd bring it up soon, and then I never did. So I kept the secret, even as it started to mean more than I expected. It wasn't just the words. It was the fact that he did it when he thought no one was watching. Every morning, I was seeing the real him, the private him, and it made me feel safe in a way I didn't even know I was missing. 3 months ago, my job sent me to a conference across the state for 2 nights. The first morning there, I woke up right around 5:15 out of habit and stared at the ceiling, half expecting socks on the floor and a kiss on my temple. Instead, there was just the hum of the air conditioner. On the second day, my last session ended early, and I realized I could catch a late flight and be home that night instead of the next morning. I didn't text him. I wanted to surprise him. I got home around 11 at night. I unlocked the door as quietly as I could, slipped inside, and set my bag down by the wall. The living room was dim, and he was on the couch with the TV volume low. He looked worn out, the kind of tired that sits in your shoulders. His work shirt was wrinkled, and his tie was tossed on the armrest. The room smelled like cold coffee. I froze. He didn't hear me, so I just stood in the hallway for a second, watching him stare at the screen like he wasn't really seeing it. Then he reached over and turned the TV off. He sat there in the dark for a moment, rubbing his hands together, and then he looked down the hallway toward our bedroom, toward where he thought I was hours away. His face softened, and he started talking quietly to nobody. "Made it through another one," he said, like he was checking in. "Good day, though, mostly." He paused, like he expected me to answer. "I picked up that pasta you like. It's in the fridge, in case you got back early." Another pause. "I missed you today. The apartment's too quiet when you're gone." I stood there with my hand on the wall, barely breathing, because it hit me all at once. He does it both ways. He talks to me when he thinks I'm asleep, and he talks to me when he thinks I'm not even home. There wasn't some act he put on for me. This was just him, at 5:15 in the morning and at 11 at night, loving me in the simplest way, even when no one could see it. My throat went tight, and I knew if I stepped out right then, I'd start crying and ruin the surprise. So I stepped back, opened the front door again, and this time I let it shut louder. I called out, "I'm home," like I had just arrived. I heard his feet hit the floor fast, and he came around the corner with this shocked look that turned into pure relief when he saw me. I didn't even get both shoes off before he wrapped his arms around me, and I held on longer than usual, not saying a word, just letting him squeeze me like he'd been waiting all day.